Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. School taught you to work for money. Now, learn how money works for you with these 10 hidden truths. You spent 12 years, some of you 16, some even more, sequestered inside a system meticulously designed to prepare you for the world. Within those walls, you mastered the quadratic formula. You memorized the cascading triggers of World War I. You learned the periodic table, the intricacies of the water cycle, and the hidden literary devices used by authors who died before your grandparents were born. You were tested, graded, ranked, and certified. At the end of this journey, you were handed a document, a diploma, confirming that you had successfully completed the curriculum. However, nobody told you that the curriculum had a purpose that was not entirely your own. Nobody mentioned that the same system that taught you discipline and the correct way to answer questions designed by others failed to explain how interest compounds against you, how taxes are structured to reward ownership over employment, or how the difference between an asset and a liability determines the entire trajectory of your life. This omission was not necessarily malicious. It was structural. A system designed to produce capable, reliable employees has no incentive to produce individuals who understand why employees are always the last to be paid. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this dynamic with cold precision. He noted that the first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the persons he has around him, and by extension, to understand what those people were taught and what knowledge was quietly withheld from them. Every system of power controls its own reproduction. It teaches the next generation what the current system needs them to know to function within it, not what they would need to know to redesign it from above. School teaches you how to be valuable to a system. It does not teach you how to own a piece of it. That gap is the product. The following 10 truths are the operating logic of the financial world, the education you were never given. The architecture of outcome. The absence of financial literacy in schools is not an oversight. It is an outcome. Consider the skills school teaches well: punctuality, meeting deadlines, and operating within schedules set by others. These are the precise behaviors of a reliable employee and the antithesis of a successful entrepreneur. School rewards compliance and penalizes independent thinking that diverges from the curriculum. Yet, in a market, independent thinking, diverging from the consensus, is the primary source of extraordinary returns. School teaches linear causality: study hard, get good grades, get a good job, live a good life. But wealth does not accumulate linearly. It compounds. It jumps. It concentrates. The curriculum was complete for a destination you never chose. Truth 1. Your salary is the price paid to buy your dreams. Your salary is not a reward or a recognition of your absolute value. It is a calculated minimum. It is the price an employer pays to keep you from leaving and, more importantly, to keep you from building something that might compete with them. Businesses operate on arbitrage. They capture the value produced by your labor at a price lower than the value that labor generates, keeping the difference the margin to sustain the business and reward the owner's risk. Therefore, by definition, a salary is always lower than the value you create. You are not paid what you are worth. You are paid what you will accept to remain a participant in someone else's structure. Truth 2. Assets work while you sleep. Jobs only work while you do. School presents hard work as the fundamental mechanism of progress. While work is a survival strategy, it has a physical ceiling: time. There are only 24 hours in a day. No matter your dedication, your income is capped by the hours you can sell. Assets operate outside this constraint. An asset is an architectural structure, rental property, equity, intellectual property, that generates income independent of your active presence. If your income stops when you stop working, you do not have a financial life. You have a sophisticated dependency. Truth 3. Inflation is a silent tax on the uninformed. School teaches you to save. However, inflation is a systematic reduction in purchasing power. If inflation is at 3% and your savings account earns 1%, you are losing wealth every year. Inflation does not damage everyone equally. It benefits those who hold real assets, real estate, equities, commodities, because these assets reprice upward as currency loses value. Inflation steals from the responsible middle, those who save cash and watched its value evaporate. Saving money without owning assets isn't responsibility, it is financial innocence. Truth 4. The tax code is a reward program for owners. The tax code was not written for employees. Employees pay taxes before they spend money. Their income is earned, taxes are extracted, and they survive on the remainder. Business owners and investors, however, spend money before they pay taxes. They earn revenue, pay legitimate expenses, often including travel, technology, and offices dash, and only the remaining profit is taxed. Furthermore, capital gains, the income of the wealthy, are taxed at significantly lower rates than the wages of the worker. The law reflects the interests of those who wrote it. Truth 5. Debt is a lever, not just a trap. The cultural message is, debt is bad. This is true for consumer debt, borrowing for things that lose value: cars, clothes, vacations. This is a mechanism for transferring wealth to lenders. However, leverage, borrowing to acquire income-producing assets, is how wealth is built at scale. The poor avoid debt out of fear. The rich use debt because they understand it as a tool to engineer a spread between the cost of the loan and the return on the asset. Debt is either a trap or a lever, depending entirely on the hand that holds it. Truth 6. Your network is your gravity. Traditional advice says to collect contacts, but a real network isn't a list of names. It is a system of people who have a reason to think of you when opportunities arise. Strong networks aren't built at networking events. They're built by solving problems for others. When you create enough value for people, you create gravity, the quality of being pulled toward opportunities rather than having to chase them. You are remembered not by who you know, but by whose problems you have solved. Truth 7. The market pays for perceived value. The market has no tool to measure real value. It only measures perceived value, the price at which a transaction occurs. In a world of incomplete information, buyers rely on signals, reputation, positioning, and authority. The best product doesn't always win. The best positioned product does. Invisibility is functionally equivalent to non-existence. Investing in how your value is communicated is not vanity. It is the recognition that the market cannot pay for what it cannot see. Truth 8. Compound interest is a double-edged sword. While touted as a miracle for savers, compound interest works with identical mathematical force on debt. High-interest consumer debt grows exponentially in the wrong direction. The financial system is a machine that collects compound interest from those who need money now and pays it to those who have the patience to deploy capital. Most people are never told which side of the equation they are standing on until it is too late. Truth 9. Diversification is for those without an edge. Don't put all your eggs in one basket is a risk management tool for the average investor to avoid catastrophe. It ensures you won't lose everything, but it also ensures you will never achieve extraordinary returns because you're the market average. Those who build massive wealth concentrate their resources where they have a specific insight or advantage. Diversification protects you from ignorance. Concentration rewards your expertise. Truth 10. Your limiting beliefs are your most expensive assets. The most durable obstacle to wealth is the internal belief system installed in childhood. 3 beliefs, in particular, act as anchors. The intelligence myth, believing you aren't smart enough for finance. The capital myth, believing you need money to make money, preventing the search for leverage. The worthiness myth, believing wealth is for other people. Your net worth will never consistently exceed your self-worth. These beliefs cost nothing to hold, but everything to keep. The diploma they never gave you. Why are these truths hidden? It isn't a secret cabal. It is the alignment of incentives. Banks profit from your lack of understanding. The employment system functions better when you see your check as a reward rather than a cost of compliance. The system doesn't need to lie. It only needs to ensure you never ask the right questions. Your formal education was designed to make you a better employee. This education, the one you just read, is designed to make you the person who does the employing. The weight of this gap now falls on you. The system did what it was designed to do. The question is, will you do what you were designed to do? Thank you for watching. If you're ready to stop playing by the old rules and start building your own structure, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a lesson. Share it to your best friend in the comments. Tell me one new word you learned from this video. Using a new word in a sentence is the best way to make it yours. Remember, the system gave you the tools to survive, but only you can give yourself the permission to thrive. Stay sharp.